Well, that completely sucked. Oh, my God. The good news is the Yankees are still 6-2. The good news is that's one baseball game. The bad news is you're in your car right now and you spent $275 per ticket to go to the most anticipated Yankees home opener in many years. You spent another $45 to park. You then bought a lot of food, and the New York Yankee offense bored you to tears. That's the problem. So, Yankee fans, as you sit here on this Friday afternoon, the good news is it's one baseball game. The good news is you're still a good baseball team. The bad news is you just took a lot of money and a lot of time and you wasted it on a Friday afternoon for one of the duddiest Yankee home openers in recent memory. Because for the most part, Tiki, the Yankees will give you some good moments on the home opener. They mostly win. And when they don't win, they score a run. Maybe two. Maybe three. This is the first time since the late 60s that the Yankees got shut out on an opening day. So good news, one game. Bad news is, what a horrible Friday afternoon at Yankee Stadium.
It's opening day. It wasn't raining for the first time in a few days. Sean got his ice cream, and he made it back.
He did.
For the show.
He did.
Damn right.
He did.
Public transportation supported him today.
That's impressive.
He made the trains right on time. And, in fact, I think the one even waited for him. Did you call ahead?
They knew. They waved it out and said, sorry, Evan and Tiki start soon. Hold the train.
And you stayed until the very last out when Verdugo hit that little CT fly ball to right field. You know what I mean by that? A little tease to right field. You were still in the ballpark watching it.
Yes, I sat there. Well, I didn't sat. I stood there, watched that fly ball, and went, is this going to get out? Are we not even going to have a show today? And then it didn't, and I ran for the train.
Here's a question I have for Tiki Barber, for Sean Morash, and I'll give you my honest opinion. It's for every Yankee fan out there. So the Yankees play a baseball game today in which Marcus Stroman is electric, and I don't want to ignore that. Marcus Stroman was freaking awesome, especially considering the first pitch of the game was a double into the right field corner, and he seemed to not give two bleeps about it and got through the inning. But the New York Yankee offense was completely limp. And when Nick Birdy throws not one, not two, but three wild pitches, even though two of them should have been pass balls, if you ask me, and the Yankees are down 3-0, I think we all feel, okay, they're dead, it's over. But when the Yankees get back-to-back base hits in the bottom of the ninth inning, Anthony Rizzo hits one off the wall, single, no big deal, and then Anthony Volpe down to his final strike, slaps one to right field, and now, for the first time all day, the fans rise to their feet. Here comes Doogie himself, the head dog, Alex Verdugo.
Dog.
Are you thinking, holy crap, he's going to hit a game-tying 3-run home run?
That would have been nice.
Did you think it, though, Teak?
I mean, not really, because nobody was hitting.
Yeah, but you didn't think that was the moment that was going to wake everybody up?
How was that coming out of nowhere? I mean, if maybe it had some good at-bats, he'd put some hard, wood on the ball every now and then, maybe I would have said, yeah, this is the moment. And then we would not gone on air at all because we would have gone into extra innings. Actually, then, yeah, it would have gone into extra innings.
Yes.
And so, no, I didn't think that at all. What I did see was a bunch of swings and misses.
Yes.
And we'll talk about Stroman in a second because I thought he was fantastic. But there are too many of these at-bats. And I didn't think it would get to this point this quickly where we start to say, Juan Soto, just swing the damn bat.
Oh, really?
You know they're calling these outside strikes. Just swing your bat.
He did. He struck out twice swinging.
I know. But
he gave you that.
He's in this moment where he's trying to – we know he has command. And by the way, Juan, you're right. Those were not strikes that are getting called on you on the outside. They are not strikes. You're absolutely right.
He knows the strike zone better than anybody, including the home plate umpire Jimenez.
100%. And the Fugazi box that's on my screen that I'm watching it on, it tells me that you are right, Juan Soto. But there are moments when you just need to say, damn what the umpire is going to do, damn what the pitcher's trying to do. I need to put bat on ball and get a hit. And it hasn't happened. First 4 games, 9 out of 17, right? 9 hits, 17 at bats. The last 4 games, 1 hit and 16 at bats.
So you're turning on Juan Soto.
I'm not turning on Juan Soto.
It kind of sounds
All
like
I'm saying is that sometimes Juan Soto, that moment, requires you to swing the bat.
That's not who he is, though, Tiki.
Especially when you know that these umps are just screwing the corners.
Yeah, but that's not who he is, man. I've told you about this for a while. He's got such a great eye, and he doesn't give in. He does not give in, and there are going to be a lot of times where there are pitches off the plate that are called a strike. But he has cooled off after that very, very hot start. But the problem today was nobody hit. I mean, absolutely nobody hit. But I did think for a second, when Doogie came to the plate and Chad Green is on the mound. And think about it, Yankee fans. Think about how you guys have won 6 of 7 to start the year prior to today. A lot of comebacks, a lot of feistiness, a lot of never say die attitude. I think the Yankee fan over the first 7 games was not just encouraged by 6-1, but encouraged by their ability to come back. That's why, and you tell me, Sean, because you're in the building, as Volpe rips the base hit to right, and now the tying run is at the plate, and here comes lead dog himself, Alex Verdugo. Did you get the sense? Here's his Yankee moment.
Yes, I started to get that bark in the back of my throat. And I got to be honest.
That's what I thought.
There were murmurs as he dug in the box. You started to hear very light. I'm serious. There was some of that. No. There was some of that, but it wasn't like vocally loud. I was like, oh, wow, we got a light bark. But I really did think that because of the way the Yankee team had played the whole road trip.
By the way, I thought the same thing. Now, I'm not in the ballpark. I was in the ballpark for a little bit of time, but I left prior to first pitch. I had some fun in the ballpark, maybe more on that later. But sitting in my, just very nice, quiet office, I don't know why. And like, I'm not always positive or negative. There's just a vibe you get. And when he came to the plate, and maybe it's because I know Chad Green stinks. Maybe that's a part of it. Maybe it's the fact that the Yankees have shown all that fight over the first week of the season. And maybe it's the fact that I looked at this opening day and said, is it really going to end like this? Is it really going to end with them getting shut out for the first time at a home opener since 1967? Is it really going to end this meekly? And off the bat, I knew it wasn't out. But in your seat, did you think off the bat that thing was gone?
Of course I did. And Evan, look, whenever you're at a game for the first time in a baseball season, you always misjudge those fly balls anyway. So the crack of the bat, the way the outfielder backed up, yes, I thought it was out. I thought beers were going to go flying.
Now, as that ball is nestling into the glove of George Springer in right field, I want you to be honest with me. Because you froze your ass off like 47,000 other people.
Freezing.
Dude, you weren't even sitting outside.
I know, but it's 50 degrees.
Tiki.
I went for a jog today. It was nice.
This guy is so out of touch.
Tiki, 47,000 of us weren't jogging. We sat there eating Cracker Jacks.
And ice cream.
Yes.
Make it even worse.
Tiki.
Set a cold standard.
I was in Yankee Stadium for about an hour and 15 minutes. I sat in the seat. I walked around. I got yelled at by a lot of people. It was a very fun time. It was freezing. You can't say to us.
No, come on.
Because you jogged a few hours earlier. It wasn't cold. It was cold.
No, Tiki.
Freezing.
Where I was sitting wasn't as cold as some areas. I had people in the bathroom leaving the bleacher section that told me some of their private genitalia was being stuck to the bleachers.
First of all,
out there.
Let me just say this to anybody out there who's driving back from the game. If you were cold, you can call us up right now to yell at Tiki Barber, who's basically saying you're soft.
I'm just saying it's not freezing.
It was 46 degrees at first pitch.
Okay, Stadium Series was warm.
Not freezing.
The Stadium Series was warmer.
I was warmer at the Stadium Series.
Come on.
I was. I'm just telling you the truth.
Just because you were drunker and you know you didn't have to come on air after.
Fair. Very fair.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's the big one right there. But it was a very, very cold day.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. But freezing?
Yes! Yes, it was freezing. Especially if you decided to have Mr. Softy ice cream prior to first pitch. Then you were really freezing your ass off. But I really thought, it's not ending like this. Are we really going to sit here and watch the Yankees lose 3-0? Is that how it's ending? And so off the bat, you could tell it wasn't going out. But if you're in that ballpark, I could imagine you jumped out of your seat. Now, Sean, here's the other question. Did you boo Juan Soto?
I did not. Nobody booed Juan Soto.
Nobody booed Juan Soto.
Did you boo anybody?
Stan.
Which strikeout? The one in the first, the one in the second, or maybe one of the flyouts late in the game?
It was the second one.
Yeah, so the second one was very, very bad. And the second one, here's what pissed me off about the second Stanton strikeout. And I'm not sure if you saw this in the building. And this is the beauty of you're in the building, me and Tiki are here. He struck out prior to striking out. The 2-2 pitch was a strike.
Right.
And he missed it, the home plate umpire, Jimenez. So when that happened, I wasn't sitting with anybody. So I talk to myself sometimes and I say stuff out loud. And I said out loud, he's parking one here. Like, this is going to be the Tino Martinez 98 World Series Game 1 moment.
Why do you have all of this optimism? Like,
No, it's not-
all this in-the-moment optimism.
Well, on this team?
I'm just saying in general today. Forget on the team.
Because it was the most anticipated Yankee home opener in like a generation.
But what gave you the Stanton, struck out but didn't strike out? Now he's got an extra strike to not strike out. He's going to hit a home run.
Okay, you want me to give you an answer?
What gave you 2 on in the bottom of the 9th inning and Verdugo's up and he gets bat on ball and, man, this thing's going to be a home run? Like, what is making you feel
Okay, I want to answer that.
all of this optimism for the team that you don't even root for?
That's a fair question. It's not about rooting or not rooting. It's about an observation. It's about a feel. And by the way, my feel was dead wrong. I was wrong about both things, so I'm certainly not bragging. In Stanton's case, A, you're facing a lefty in Kikuchi, and you know about his numbers against lefties last year. And B, sometimes when an umpire gives you a gift, you take advantage of it.
Yeah.
That 2-2 pitch was a strike. The umpire missed it. And as far as the bottom of the 9th inning was concerned, I just couldn't imagine that this home opener, which cost a ton of money for anybody to go to, which was a red-hot ticket, which had a buzz. I felt that buzz. I was at least there for a little bit. Sean was there even longer than me. He felt the buzz. I didn't think this game and this moment in this season was just going to end with a thud. I didn't think that. I thought they were going to have kind of a magical, pseudo-magical moment, and it didn't happen. Now, here's the good news. This doesn't mean that I can have a magical year. This is not necessarily an indicator of what's going to happen next, but I do admit it sucks. It sucks when you sit outside in the cold. It sucks when you give up work. It sucks when you spend a lot of money and then watch that, because that was a bore fest if you're a Yankee fan. I mean, other than Marcus Stroman strutting a little bit after he struck out Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to end the 5th inning, like, there wasn't very much to be excited about.
No, there wasn't, but it was still opening day, and the Yankees are still 6-2. So let's keep it in perspective. It sucked. Obviously, today sucked, but the last week has not sucked.
No.
So
They're 6-2.
Keep it in perspective.
And it was also 1-0 until the top of the ninth.
Exactly.
That
it
was
a
where,
game.
more so than the bottom, that was where the wheels fell off and you felt the excitement get drained. Because of a 1-0 game, you still sensed, are they going to walk it off? Are they going to walk it off? It was the bullpen that collapsed at the end.
Well, there was something else that I think contributed to them losing this game, and it's right now 5:08, and doing a Cinco de Five with Sean Morash 5 minutes into the show did not make much sense. So instead today will be the first time ever Sean will present to you a Cinco de Sixo coming up at 6 o'clock.
Very careful the way I have to say that.
But I felt compelled to give you a Cinco de Evo.
Cinco de Evo on Evan and Tiki on the Fan.
And this is for all the Yankee fans out there who have a common thing that they do after Yankee losses. Do you know the common thing that Yankee fans do after losses?
Drink a lot?
Drink a lot's a great idea. That is not the answer we're looking for.
What is the answer?
They call up Sports Talk Radio, whether it's Chris McMonagle at night, whether it's Keith McPherson, whether it's the next day with Boomer and Gio or us or whomever, and they bitch about the manager.
I botched it again.
And so I give you a Cinco de Evo on the 5 things Aaron Boone botched on opening day. You ready?
Let's hear him.
Here we go!
Number 5.
Why not let Marcus Stroman start the 7th inning? What's the deal
Botched it
here?
again.
Because he was at 98 pitches.
90. Okay, he threw 104 in his first start. Why not get him to 110? Why not squeeze an extra out or two? Remember, the leadoff hitter in the 7th inning turned out to be this Ernie Clement, who pinched hit for Kevin Biggio. If you let Marcus Stroman face one more batter, maybe that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but Biggio has, 5 home runs in his career?
Yeah.
I mean, did you think that was going to happen?
No, that's why I keep Marcus Stroman in the game.
And honestly, for cosmetic reasons, Stroman deserved to come back out just to face one more batter, so we knew as fans he was coming out to give him a bigger hand than
I
that.
agree. Let me keep this in mind. I'm not saying he's going to get through the 7th inning, but steal as many outs as you can. So you agree with number 5?
I'm in on number 5.
All right.
Number 4.
Keeping Dennis Santana in the game for a 3rd different inning?
I botched it again.
Who the hell do you think Dennis Santana is? He got lucky to get out of the 7th inning. He gets through the 8th inning great. Now you let him start the 9th inning? And then you let him give up back-to-back hits after Juan Soto makes a great running catch? Keeping Dennis Santana in for multiple, up-downs? For multiple up-downs? What are we doing, Booney?
All right. That one I have to agree with because Dennis Santana, I didn't know. Didn't know at all.
Trust me, I know him.
And the big screen couldn't remind us enough that he has a career 5.71 ERA. So, yes,
All
we
right.
should have dumped him.
I'm off to a good start.
Number 3.
Jose Trevino comes up to lead off the 8th inning. You really got to hit this guy? I mean, he stinks.
Oh,
You're right over there.
oh,
Botched
that
it
was
again.
screaming about that.
Thank you.
What are we worried that Austin Wells could get hurt later in the game? Trevino hasn't gotten a hit in a year and a half.
No, and I'll tell you the answer Aaron Boone gave after the game because I want to be fully honest about Boone's excuse for this one and for number 2. I don't buy his excuse, but I want everyone to know his excuse. His excuse was Trevor Richards has these nasty reverse splits. And by the way, that's true. That's fair. Trevor Richards is tougher against lefties than righties. But guess what? Austin Wells is better than Jose Trevino. Screw the reverse splits. Put the better hitter up there. And that leads us to number 2.
Number 2.
Not pinch hitting for John Birdie with Oswaldo Cabrera in the 7th inning with a runner on base.
I botched it again.
You did, Aaron. Oswaldo's been awesome this season, man. You got to use him. And that leads to number 1.
Number 1.
You didn't even start Oswaldo Cabrera.
Botched it again.
Of course you did. I wouldn't have to complain about number 2 if you did number 1, because number 1 means Oswaldo Cabrera, Teak, who's been one of their best hitters, actually plays.
That number 1 is the best one because that one doesn't make any sense.
That's why it's number 1.
We talked about this at the beginning of the season, a week and a half ago, how you probably didn't know what the future was for Oswaldo Cabrera until he started crushing it, raking, doing exactly what you expected him to do as a kid with pressure, but also an opportunity. So he takes that opportunity and he forces his way into the lineup.
Yes.
And so we're like, hey, young kid, Boone likes him. He's producing. Keep him in there. He's earned the right to be in there. When you see the starting lineup today and he's not in the ball game, in my mind, I'm saying he's too young to need rest. First of all. Second of all, it's too damn early in the season to need rest. And he's been the only, I guess Volpe as well, the most consistent player on this team.
That's right.
With his bat. And you're going to take him out of the lineup at home, no less.
That's right.
Where Yankee fans who love to see a kid that was drafted and developed come up through the ranks and make it, and now all of a sudden you're not giving him the opportunity at the home opener? It didn't make any sense.
I totally agree. Matter of fact, he got, for lack of a better term today, on the Yankee Richter scale, the 5th loudest ovation of anybody introduced to the crowd today.
I see what you did there. Richter scale.
Yeah,
More on that as the show
How about
goes
that?
on.
He got the loudest of any guy that was a non-starter or Garrett Cole. And the fact that we went all this, hey, he's earned the right.
Right.
He earned the right to start the home opener. Bottom line, should have been in there. Give me a break.
You know what I'm saying?
That one doesn't make sense now that I think about it. Birdie? Why does John Birdie need to be starting the home opener?
I think what he did
Seriously.
is the same thing with looking at Trevor Richards' reverse splits is he made decisions based on the opponent. Made decisions on Oswaldo not facing a lefty because some lefties he bats lefty against, some lefties he bats righty against. I agree with you. He deserved to start. You know what I just noticed?
What's that?
When I first started doing the Cinco de Evo, the 5 things Aaron Boone screwed up on opening day, you gave me a look of, you got nothing, Evan. They didn't lose because of Aaron Boone. They lost because they couldn't hit. And then after I got the list, you know what you thought to yourself?
Right.
Aaron Boone botched it again.
I botched it again.
Yeah, he did.
It's a long-ass season.
And even if it was only by not starting Oswaldo Cabrera, even if I don't fully agree with all of them except for the first one, number 1, that was the big one. Because he hits, and he has been hitting. He deserved to be the opening day, the home opening starter.
No question about it. By the way, first time the Mets and Yankees both lost a home opener in the same season since 2009. And I give a big assist to Tommy Lugauer because Luggie comes into my office and says, is this the worst opening day in New York sports history of home openers? And I said, what do you mean? And Luggie's like, it doesn't seem like they both ever lose at the same time. And I looked it up. And he's right. 2009 was the last time, first year of Citi Field and Yankee Stadium. Before that was 1997. Before that was 1979. The Mets and the Yankees do not lose home openers in the same season. They did it this year.
Good job by Lugauer.
Yeah.
2009, we'll take it.
A lot to get to, including a lot of the atmosphere at Yankee Stadium and things you may have noticed. But let's get to your calls because Tiki's telling us, even though he wasn't in the building, you were not cold at the Yankee home opener. I was there for an hour. Sean was. He was there for 5 hours. What about Andrew in Queens? What's up, Andrew?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
What's up, dude?
So I'm sorry. Look, I was sitting in 315, row 3 for innings 1 through 9. I went to go get food for a couple innings where you could tell it was cold, but I wasn't cold. I mean, granted, I'm layered up. I've got 3 layers on and a coat, so I dressed properly. But the wind wasn't hitting me. I mean, I know people in the upper deck, they were feeling it. And I know people out in the bleachers, but I think it all depends where you sat. But right now, I mean, I'm pretty toasty. I've been to Giants games in October that were colder than this. So people just need to nut up a little bit. Except that it's opening day. Drink a couple extra hard beers, go to stands before the game, get liquored up, and you feel fine.
That's what I'm talking about,
I
Andrew.
think Andrew just hit on it, basically. You got to be drunk.
Dude, if you don't have any brown liquid going down your esophagus before the game starts, you're going to be cold.
Larry's calling from Roxbury. What's up, Larry?
What's up, Larry?
Hey, guys, what's going on? I'm stuck in complete gridlock traffic in the Bronx. This stinks, but I was in the upper deck. Took my son, paid $100 on SeatGeek, but I tell you now, it was windy and it was cold. It was freezing. But
Were you
the biggest
dressed
thing that
properly,
aggravated-
Larry? Were you dressed properly?
I did. I dressed in layers. I had a knit hat on and a hoodie. But, I mean, it was cold, but it's opening day, But it's always like the, gray sky, windy, no sun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, of course.
I tell you why I'm really aggravated. I've been to a million opening days. First time ever, guys, no flyover. Might not be a big thing, but I wonder why there was no jets.
That's an interesting. You know what? By the way, Larry, I have a random thought.
I think
And
I know why.
I think I know why, too.
Yeah.
I think the earthquake.
Yeah, because
They grounded flights
right,
after the quake,
Sean
didn't they?
told us that they grounded all these flights. I had a buddy who was actually at Newark and was trying to leave, and luckily, after I don't know how long it was, an hour, they let him leave.
Yeah.
So that's likely what it was.
Yes, 100%. If you're telling me, and it's not something I've been to a lot of Yankee opening days, no doubt. I haven't been to all of them, and I don't remember certain things such as that. But if you're telling me it happens at every Yankee home opener and it didn't happen today, I think the quake has a lot to do with it. And by the way, that's the other monstrous story going around New York City right now.
Did you feel the quake?
Did you feel the quake? And how pissed are you at the state and the city for continuing to send us alerts? We know there was an earthquake. We're aware of it. And yet, like, you don't have to tell us anymore. We felt it, bro.
And by the way, it was like 30 minutes later.
I know.
I got the alert 30. I was like, dude, we know.
What was the point of the alert?
There was an
if you-
earthquake.
I mean,
great.
like-
We figured that out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like after I was going to use an aliens analogy, but Tiki does not like that because they don't exist.
They do. Well, they may exist. We're just never going to come in contact with them.
In a fictitious world where aliens exist, they blow us up, and then our phones go off to say, watch out for the aliens. Like telling us 3 hours later there was an earthquake does us no good. Now, real quick on the earthquake. All right, let's examine this. I have been in 2 earthquakes prior to this. One in California with Greg Giannotti and Joe Beningo, but they were both high at the time,
Oh, so they
so
don't
they
remember?
don't remember it that much.
That's great.
And I think G has even admitted Evan was freaking out. He was holding up. Those two are like, wow.
All right,
look
what
at
was,
this.
what was the level? Was it like 6, 7?
I don't know the answer to that.
Because this one was relatively light.
This was a tiny
This
one.
was 4.8? something like that?
4.7, 4.8.
Now, there was a 5.3, 5.4 in New York City in 2011. Another one I had with Beningo because we were on the air. And I remember experiencing it on the air, and Joe claimed I was kicking him. And I said, I'm not kicking you. There's an earthquake. But this one, did you feel this one?
Of course I did.
What were you doing?
My daughter had just gotten up because she slept late with her sister.
Right.
So they were up all night. So they got up late. They're in spring break, by the way. They didn't skip school. And
It's okay if they do.
exactly. And she was making her pancakes or her waffles.
Right.
And she stopped and she's like, what is that? I was like, oh, it's probably just a truck.
That's what you thought it was?
I thought it was just like a
Yeah.
big truck coming down the road or something. Instead, Tracy starts screaming from the, did you feel that? Did you feel that? I'm like, yes, we felt it. It's fine. Calm down.
So your wife had to tell you there's an earthquake.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing happened.
No. For us, it's a big deal because we don't normally experience it.
The house shook a little bit.
Yeah.
It felt like nothing.
Yeah. No, I didn't feel it. I was driving to Yankee Stadium. All of a sudden, I get a call from my wife. Oh, my God, did you feel that? And I'm like, no, I'm driving on the freaking Bronx Express. I don't know what I'm doing. And she told me about it. I never felt it. Now, you were in the parking lot of Yankee Stadium?
No, I was in stands.
You were in stands?
And to be honest, we didn't realize it was an earthquake in real time. Stands was rocking pregame starting at 9 o'clock.
What, was there music playing? Like, was it
Music
loud?
blaring. When the earthquake
Oh,
hit,
so you thought it was the bass.
stands broke into the YMCA. And everybody was getting up doing the YMCA at like 10, whenever the heck this happened. And the floor like shook a little bit, but it just felt like everybody was jumping up and down doing the YMCA.
So you didn't know?
Didn't know.
You didn't know until we texted you and said there was an earthquake?
Yeah, it was young man. Dun, dun. That was it.
Wow. How about you, Loogie? Did you feel it?
I did. So I'm in my apartment. We just moved. I thought my wife had a power tool going on. Then I thought it was a train, and then I was like, crap, I think we just had an earthquake.
Your wife operates power tools?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
That's very sexy, by the way.
Puts it right between.
That was great. By the way, we all know what we did during the earthquake. You want to know what Aaron Judge did during the earthquake?
What did he do?
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the captain of the New York Yankees, being asked what he was doing during the earthquake.
Did you feel the earthquake before the game?
Yeah, I felt that pregame. You know, usually you feel a couple of rumbles in this stadium pregame, but that one was a little different.
Where were you?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, it's definitely a no comment.
Yeah.
I understand.
We good?
Imagine dropping a deuce during an earthquake. That's clearly what Aaron's telling us, right? There's nothing else going
what else
on.
could he be? If he was at the stadium, what else could he have been doing that he wouldn't want to say?
Dude, that would freak me out. Imagine sitting there and you're kind of helpless because you're not getting up in the middle of that.
Yeah, but it might help.
Help what?
It's a lot of shaking.
Take it out.
Glaber Torres was taking batting practice. He just kept hitting right through it. Let's go to Anthony in Westchester. What's up, Anthony?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
We're
This
good.
whole talk about it being cold, it really wasn't that bad. But my problem, besides the Yankee offense doing nothing, Evan, how long did it take you to get that ice cream?
It took
Because I was in-
32 seconds.
Okay. I don't know what time you did it because I was in section 112 and I was in the stadium by 12:30.
Yeah.
Went up to get my 3-year-old some ice cream in the third inning. I got back. It was bottom of the sixth.
Why?
I had never in my life, I've been to World Series games, ALCS games when we used to be good enough to get to them.
Yeah.
I have never, ever in my life in the stadium so understaffed and so unprepared for it.
Really?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who was less prepared. The concession workers or everyone who was trying to hit the ball.
Wow.
It was pathetic.
All right.
Awful.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up so we could address this. Now, Sean, you were not sitting that far away from 112 where he got this.
Right.
Did you notice this being a problem today?
Yeah, it wasn't an ice cream problem. This is an everything problem, and I noticed it
And
last
everything
year.
problem meaning what?
All the concessions,
Got it.
including the main sausage stand right where I was standing. The concession speed of the worker / understaffing has yet to match at Yankee Stadium the pace of play problem in baseball. This was an issue last year, and I thought it was a glaring issue. Naturally, first day back at work.
Well,
everybody
hold on.
tonight.
You're saying this is a pace of play issue?
It happened to me last
Right.
year, Evan, multiple times
This
at the
happened
stadium.
to BT too because BT left.
Yeah.
Because Colt was with him, his son. BT's son Colt was with him, so he went to go get pop something.
Right.
And he missed basically an inning and a half.
But he missed an inning and a half because the game was quick, not because it took forever.
This is what Sean's
This is what I'm
talking
saying.
about.
What you don't realize is you're probably taking the same amount of time on ridiculous lines than you used to at Yankee Stadium, but because the game is flying by so much quicker, you didn't care that you were meandering online staring at a menu. The Yankee it gets better as the year goes on, but it didn't match last year, and the same thing today. I couldn't believe the lines, but the lines are there, the workers are trying, but you missed 2-3 innings because the game's flying by.
So what you're claiming, though, and I don't think our last caller was claiming this, you're claiming the lines are the same they've always been. It just feels different because the game's quicker.
No, he's saying that caller was saying exactly what Sean is saying. He went to go get his son ice cream. It took forever, and he missed whatever it was.
No. But he was saying understaffed, and it's not like this when they're in an ALCS.
I think that's a perception thing, though.
Exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
That's what you guys are claiming.
I think that we don't realize how long we waited online for concessions because of how long these innings took and pitches and all of that, and we didn't mind doing it.
So you're claiming, so the thought you have is that it's all the same, it just feels different because the game is quicker. That's your claim.
And don't get me wrong, I do think first homestand, there's going to be a tad bit longer than usual. Everybody's back at work. I'm not trying to say it's not the case. But yes, I am claiming that. I think if you don't get your food you want to eat pregame and you care about watching all these innings, you are screwed at Yankee Stadium.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, there's no way to prove one way or the other. Like if I'm right or you're right. But I get the sense that maybe today, for whatever reason, maybe there was something going on today that they may have been short-staffed. If it was taking him that long to get freaking ice cream.
I did see the lines. I did see the lines, but I've always seen the lines. The game moves quicker now.
Interesting. We'll get back to your calls, your experience at Yankee Stadium today, and certainly as you sit in traffic, the Yankees lose 3-0. Aaron Boone made some boneheaded decisions the Yankees couldn't hit, and Juan Soto did nothing for you today. Did you have an urge at any moment to start whipping out the booze that Sean Morash warns you cannot do this season. More of your calls coming up.